Good evening. Welcome to Damage Does D&D. It's Tuesday, so therefore it must be Helloran Rising. This is episode 52? 53? 53? Oh my
We're on
word.
53.
That's an awful lot. So, without further ado, we will get into tonight's show, and Snow will give us a quick recap of what happened from his point of view last time. Snow.
We arrived in Donham, and naturally I wanted to see the docks and find out if we were still wanted. I slipped away from the group and checked it out, and as much as I want to have faith in them, they make altogether too much noise and draw far too much attention to themselves. I don't believe we're off the hook, but there are no wanted posters or information demanding our arrest, and it would appear for all intents and purposes, we are in fact still believed dead. Not wanting to push my luck too far, I made my way to the library to meet up with my companions, and upon entering, I engaged in a quite rude conversation with a very foolish librarian. Typical bloody intellectual. Thinks that because something isn't confirmed as being real in her precious books, it couldn't possibly be true. I mean, I could cause a ruckus and summon the Runa Ifane into the docks, but I've got something more interesting in mind that should convince my kin of the existence of Pelodas, the Lord of the Waters. However, I'm getting off topic. I of course gave my name as that of my cousin who was scout before me, and in hindsight, maybe using the name of Mikko's boat may not have been the wisest course of action, but what's done is done. As I made my way through the library, I could hear my companions before I could see them. I come back to my earlier musing that on them making altogether too much noise, and it's nice to be vindicated. As usual, they have obviously been messing around and found yet another secret area that we probably shouldn't be in. As I arrived, they appeared to be faffing around with something in the corner of the room, with Celeste casting some kind of spell, and Gus wanting to yank on something. In her typical fashion, Miette got as far away from the potential danger as possible, which hilariously backfired this time when she almost lost her tail when the bookcase slid back into place. Bloody dwarfs and their gold fever. Oh, there must be treasure here because it's a secret room. They are the epitome of fuck around and find out, but one of these days it's going to be the death of one of them or us. But as I'm an honorary dwarf, I will have to fuck around and follow because sometimes their hunches play out favorably. Hopefully no one has to get pissed on this time. We descend into a large, rough-hewn room with a large door at one end. There is odd dust on the floor moving, and upon further inspection this reminds me of the evil fog we've encountered and seems to be chasing Miette. I relay my hunch to the group, and Miette produced her best scolded cat impression and tried to climb Trellador as he was the nearest tall object, pulling him over in the process. Ugh. In a truly surprising flash of brilliance, Gus used his pendant and the fog appears to separate. Celeste and Yorick launch a magical assault. Without much in the way of results, the dwarves then forge forward into this room beyond the door. The architecture is surprising. This is a little like Remora's realm, with black walls and white floor made of marble. There is marble dust all over the floor, with a black jet-like lectern in the center with a book resting upon it. Not made of any paper that we would know it. Yorick decides to make Gus some toy blocks to keep him busy, as he gets bored due to there being no treasure down here. Celeste does some preliminary investigation, but as usual, the issue descends into bickering, and after some further discussion, Gus decides he can understand it. Doesn't seem to show with the initial translation, but we got no one else who could speak Draconic, and, let's cry on, eh? We go through the book, and it seems to be a record of some of the gods of our world. I would hazard a guess from the tone of the book and the personal comments and the lack of a page recording the firstborn, this was probably written by them, maybe. And given who we've met so far, I would also hazard a guess that this was Remora who wrote the book. There was an interesting bit of lore regarding my Lord Pelodas. Apparently he has a twin, Amash, the Lady of Fire, but does not speak to his twin since she went to play in the Hells. This seems ominous, but I will have to ask him about it at some point. Trelador, of course, latched onto this tidbit and wants to know if I already had this information. I, of course, didn't, but it'll be more fun to let him squirm and try and work it out. Between Celeste, extrapolations by myself and Melissa's knowledge of the Hell's denizens, we established that these pages are possibly devil or demon skin tanned into vellum, and blood has been used as ink. However, the ink is different on the initial page, which is very odd. While this is happening, Florian goes to the door and leans down to talk to the fog, freezing in place. This causes Miet and Trelador to investigate, pulling Florian back into the room, slamming the door, and carving the runes of protection on the door. Florian believes the fog is Ardiak. Some are skeptical and believe it's showing him his deepest fears, but Florian insists this might be the same entity that was described in the stories he was told as a child. If this is Ardiak, he's responsible for the fog. He seems to be very unhappy with the wandering gusts, and Celeste rightly pointed out that could be due to the protection magic they know. Are Ardiak and Amash working with Fierna? Were they involved in the war in which Pelodas, Remora, and Baelov fought Fierna and took the world for us? While I was mulling this over, Gus decides to throw some of the marble dust out of the room, and it actually worked. The fog parted for the marble dust, and Gus may need to lie down for a couple of days after this, as he might have strained his brain by having multiple good ideas in a short space of time. But credit where credit due, he made us a way out. Balance was restored when Gus suggested we add the marble dust to beer and ingest it so the fog would leave us alone. The next issue was, do we take the book? Yorick believes that we should take the book, and I agreed, so I picked up the book and took an executive decision that we are taking it. Melissa thinks that we shouldn't be taking it as, when we shouldn't have. The marble dust begins to flow back into the room and we have to scramble out across the path up the stairs. I conferred with Yorick, and we agree that he will keep a hold of the book, as I don't want to carry it near the gem just in case. We had an issue closing the bookcase again, which, in a stroke of luck, Gus finds the book to close it. He will definitely need a lie down for a day or so after straining his brain so much. Now we've got the fun of getting out of the library.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Snow. Yeah, that kind of sums it up. So, as you tumble out of this, into the library space, it is quiet. Quieter than when you left it. And looking around, you don't see any people here at all. What would you like to do?
You did say it was around lunchtime-ish, though, didn't you?
About lunchtime.
Right then, are we off to get some food? It's lunchtime.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Just start
Got what they need from this library.
Well,
I'm going to march back to the front desk and demand my deposit back.
You're going up to the front desk?
Yes.
Okay.
We came here for a reason. Did we achieve that?
I got one. I kind of needed.
well, we found a secret room, but there was no treasure, so that's not achieved what I wanted.
Well, information itself can be a treasure.
You keep saying that, and I still don't believe you.
Information leads to gold, Gus. Information tells us where the gold is.
Well, I don't care about gold.
What?
Treasure. You know, it's just treasure. Stuff. Doesn't matter whether it's gold or jewels or magic stuff or pots of paint or whatever. It's like treasure, isn't it?
So I can take your share of gold in future.
If you want to. I don't care.
So we already get our own share, don't we? See?
What you say? You're mumbling again.
I know. I mean, I said we already share out all the treasure, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Can I just point out that we are talking about leaving? We are
I
talking.
don't get lunch.
Yeah, we're going already. Come on.
And
Let's
can we
go.
please, for the love of all the gods, not tell the librarian that we found a secret room?
would we?
Okay.
So, as you approach the front desk, the librarian is standing at the desk waiting. So, you are finished. We are about to close for the day, of course.
What, you close at lunchtime?
Today we do, yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, it's the you're you're in for a treat. You've not been here before, have you?
No.
Well, today is Hell's Day.
Right.
It's a day of celebration for everyone, and she sort of shakes her head, and you can see on her ornate horns there are 3 or 4 little bells just jangling.
God.
No.
The look of panic on Natalie's face just then was fantastic.
Before you said that, I was going to ask just to insight check to see if it was actually a national day for
Make an
the
insight check.
town.
It was also kind of what I wanted to ask, if there was anything more than tiefling about the librarian
Ooh.
coming in the second time.
Make a perception
More than a
check.
tiefling.
More than a tiefling for you. No.
Non-natural 20.
That was bad. We're not doing that anymore. Natural 20 for an insight. Nice.
Non-natural 20.
Sorry, non-natural 20. Okay. Yeah, she seems absolutely genuine about this. This is the Heller's Day. Don't know if the only people that may have heard about this would be possibly Melissa and Snow and Miette. All right, roll a history check for me. It's fairly low DC.
Is this affected by... No, it wouldn't be. It's
just literally a
not
history
about
check.
creatures. It's just
17.
17.
Oh my word, this is going well. I got a 12 on the perception.
12 on perception. Definitely a tiefling.
Okay. And 9 on the history.
9 on history.
I will let you know when I roll above double digits.
Okay. Miette, what did you get?
I have been utterly entranced by the bells and the tiefling's horns, and I'm having to resist pawing at them.
Okay, got a 3. Fantastic. Snow. Even far away as you normally are from down here, you've heard stories about Heller's Day. It's a celebration that tieflings have down here of their throwing off the yoke of the devils in hell and their escape from the hells. They celebrate for a 24-hour period that starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and goes all the way through the night to the next day.
Oh, my kind of party.
There are fireworks, there are little effigies you can buy, there's all sorts of interesting and fun stuff to do. Or so you hear. The librarian looks at all of you. So, you'll be joining the celebrations. That will be fun for you.
Where would be the best place to go to enjoy the celebrations?
If you go to the main square,
Yeah.
yes, and then wind your way to the northwest quarter of the city, that's where the main celebration will take place.
Right,
But
thank
you'll
you.
see as you go out, most of the central part of the where we are will be fairly empty. Everybody should be making their way across there. I should be there already, but I was waiting for you to finish. Got a hand up over there.
Sorry, I'm just wondering what a tiefling's like where Celeste is from. Is this very different to what she's used to?
You've never heard of anything like this. I mean, you know that tieflings are spawn of the devils, and they're not to be trusted, and they have an evil reputation. You've heard that some are good. Mainly, you've heard there are a sect of monks that specialise in rescuing tieflings from, but they're very secretive in their bases, and you've never actually met one, but you have heard of them. But no,
Okay.
all in all, tieflings are not to be trusted generally, from your point of view. The rest of you, fine. Tieflings are just like anybody else.
Many apologies for us keeping you. We'll exit and you can get to your celebration.
Indeed. Just one. Do you have any books? Because this is not a lending library. This is a research library.
No, I've got no books. Look.
We have returned all of our material.
Okay. So, just one quick, because I know, and she starts to mumble under her breath and casts a spell. So. Very well. Your deposit back. She gives you your money back yet?
I didn't get to insult her by counting books.
So, if you would care to leave, I will lock up and make my way to my own celebration.
All right, come on, Yorick. It's time to party.
Sorry,
I'm just gonna,
another
as you
question. Go then.
I'm just gonna go. As I go, I'm just going to go up to Melissa, just say, "Oh, a celebration to escape the clutches of a devil." Sounds just like your kind. I'm just waiting to see what her reaction.
Okay. What is your reaction, Melissa?
I didn't hear the full of what you said. Sorry.
A celebration to.
You keep
escape.
dropping out, Dan.
Most of the ending I didn't catch.
It was a celebration.
To escape the hells must be your cup of tea, I think it was.
I think something along those lines.
Yeah. So yeah. Sounds like just your kind of party.
I certainly hope it is.
I just wanted to know, can I take a stab in the dark about what kind of spell she casts? I assume it's to do with checking to see if any of us have taken any of the books.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can confirm that?
It's you can make an Arcana check, or you can cast Detect Magic. It's entirely up to you.
I'll just do Arcana.
Okay.
20.
Some kind of locate object spell. So you suspect there's something attached to each of the books that she can detect via this spell.
Cool.
What was there any indication from her that she picked up on the book?
No, she seemed. Well, you can make an insight check, but she seemed to be happy to let you go. Gave Miette her money back.
Oh.
All right, Fiddy number 2, calm down.
Check me out, pulling a fiddy.
Oi, oi.
He's got RFID flags.
I really did pull a fiddy. 8.
8. I mean, do you guess so? Hard to read, really.
Never
So,
letting.
as she ushers you out of the doors and locks them behind you, what would you like to do? The city, the square that when you came in, it wasn't particularly busy anyway. There were a few people here and there, but there's nobody here. You can hear.
I'd like to listen out for the sound of the party.
Make a perception check then. So the rest of you can hear the sounds of people gathering. It's kind of far off, but there are noises. Sounds like people gathering.
6.
Yeah, you can hear stuff. There is, same as I've just described. There are people. Sort of sounds like people are gathering.
Right, must be this way.
Before. Sorry, I was about to say, just before the group do anything.
Off the opposite way to where the actual sound is coming from.
Before anybody decides to go anywhere, can I ask you a question, Chaz?
Sure.
So, on finding out about this Hell's Day and what's happening now around here, and due to previous ways of thinking and information, I'm quite a history nerd. Can I think of anything in the history books any major event which has happened similar to this date or on this date beforehand? other than obviously finding out about Hell's Day, because obviously I wouldn't know about that.
Make a history check. So, Gus, you start wandering off to the southeast.
Okay.
Everybody else is like, the noise is that way, and Gus has gone that way.
Gus,
What?
it's
You're
the other-
going the wrong way.
Oh, all right. I'll come back.
Okay. What'd you get?
I'm rolling quite well tonight. 17 for 22.
22. Nice. You do remember there was something written, a very ancient text that you came across about. It's more of a fable than an actual story, and you realise that it would be this date it falls on, but it's never been proven historically. But apparently there was one time that a bunch of tieflings were being held captive by a demon in a desert, and some heroes sprung them. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Some heroes sprung them from this captivity, and helped and tried to remove the symbols of slavery. And that, you seem to recall, was on a similar date, if not the same date. You can't be sure exactly. Nobody's really written. It's more of a tale than a historical document that you read.
Yeah, okay, cool.
For those not familiar with Campaign 2, that actually happened, which freeing them from the symbols of slavery went very badly.
We didn't. Me and Milo just ate pork pie.
That is true.
Yeah.
Some people had pork pies, others murdered indiscriminately. So
See, it's good to recognise for your strengths, sir.
Is it a good idea if we go to this party, or would it not be good to exit the town while everybody else is in the same place?
Going to be such a square, Florian.
Exactly, it'd be rude.
I mean, they're celebrating throwing off the yoke of the devils. It's the day they escaped their fate in the hells.
Basically, so let's go party!
Yeah.
okay, so you make your way through the town to following the sounds of merriment, which get louder and louder as you go, and you start to see houses are decorated. There's like strings of sort of rope with bells on, and effigies of devils in people's windows. And
As we go past, I'm just going to go to Melissa. Recognise any of the...
I mean, you could do a perception check if you want.
No, I'm just ignoring
Okay.
Traveler at this point.
And as you get closer and closer to the noise starts to go up a level. You see more and more people, mainly tieflings. There's a lot of tieflings here. There are other races here that seem to be joining in the celebration. A lot of them don't really seem to have got it, but you see some of them are actually wearing fake tiefling horns with bells on, and all of the
I
tieflings.
gotta get me one of those.
Oh, I want one of those as well. They look really cool.
All of the tieflings that you see have bells on their horns. They're not like tinkle tinkle jolly bells. They're dull, not very sonorous bells. They sound almost as if they're slightly cracked. So they make a sort of dull, jangling sound rather than a happy sound. It's quite dolorous. So as you go on, there are stalls selling these horns, which you may buy if you wish.
I want to buy some.
There you go. Melissa's already bought some.
Yay.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I mean, they're fairly cheap. I would say 5 silver a pop.
I'll buy 2 and give 1 to Yorick.
Okay. So are you all buying them, or is there somebody abstaining?
No.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm good. Sir.
Okay, so it's just the dwarves and Miet. Okay.
I'm definitely putting them in my inventory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whilst we're in town and we are now surrounded by people, can I just keep an eye out for, and this is going to be basically like somebody trying to hide from somebody in fucking like Day of the Dead in Mexico or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But keep an eye out for anything as if we are being watched.
Absolutely, make a
like
perception check.
very much keenly rather than just.
Okay. Yep, make a perception check.
I'm
So the vibe you get in is kind of sort of a cross between Day of the Dead in Mexico and sort of Halloween in the US or Ireland, where it's big, not like the UK where it's just a bit of a damn squib, but you know, full on celebrations with decorations everywhere. There are some of them are quite grotesque. Some of them are sort of little dioramas of ritual sacrifice, and you know, people chopping other people's horns off. You know, it's really quite unsettling if you were to take it out of context. But in the context, everybody seems to be happy and cheery and having a really good time. There is drink flowing. There is food that can be bought. There are cakes, little hell's cakes, where like the shape of a bell, a cracked bell. It's full on.
Do they have devil's food cake?
Of course they do.
Deviled egg.
Yep, the deviled eggs are up there as well. Lots of devilish treats. What did you get, Florian, for your perception?
Yeah, it's not going to get me. I've only got 11.
11. You look around, it's difficult. There are a lot of people. Everywhere you look, people with horns, whether they're tieflings or not. They've all got horns. You see some halfling children running across. They've all got horns on. With these little clanky bells.
If I see Florian look around quite a lot, I'll go, are you okay? I'm a bit twitchy after talking to the fog.
I'll lean into him a little bit more, be just a bit quieter. Be like, well, we're being chased by Prince of Hell, pretty much. You and me, I think, and we're in a place.
Mainly you.
We're in a place where could be a lot of spies, could be a lot of people, and we've just walked straight into it. Even though most people might think we're dead, she still knows we're not.
I was going to say, we're dead. How much worse could it get?
I'll hold you to those words.
Okay.
Lighten up a little bit.
So, as you sort of approach there's a sort of square up ahead. You can see a stage has been set up, and there are from here you can't see. And the throng of people gets thicker and thicker. It gets kind of. It's not like you're not rammed in like sardines, but it's busy. You know, if you've been to a street party, it's like that. You're walking along. There's a lot of people singing, shouting. There's people that are drunk already. And it's it's a big party. There's a lot of people about. There's a lot of kids about, and who seem to be having a great time running about all over the place. As you approach this stage, you can see there is a what looks like a boulder, a huge grey boulder. It looks obviously fake, with sort of manacles hanging off it. And on the stage itself, there is a large gentleman, you assume it's male, who's bare-chested, shock of red hair, really absurdly large horns, big pointed teeth, flashing red eyes, red flowing pantaloons on, and what is can only be described as a huge battle axe that he is waving around very dramatically and theatrically, and occasionally he'll stop and roar at the crowd, and the children all run screaming from him. It's a pantomime of a thing. What would you like to do?
Well,
mine is getting noisier and noisier, so talking to each other is getting a little difficult. You're going to have to start shouting at each other now.
I think this is brilliant. The only thing to make it better would be beer.
Can you see any?
Yep, there are beer stalls aplenty.
Well, let's get some beer.
Yep, there's a place selling what looks like mugs of red frothing liquid.
Ooh.
You don't know what that is, but you know,
that looks awesome.
Seems to be.
They've done the dyed beer thing, haven't they?
Yeah, it seems to be selling well. Everybody appears to be drinking that or something similar.
Blood of the innocent.
Could be. And are you going across to one of these stalls?
Oh, absolutely.
Ah! You've got horns. First one's free.
Oh,
Hand you a cup of that. All three of you that got horns can have a cup of this for free. It's if you want. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'll send you a DM when you get a minute.
Right, okay. I'll have a look at that in a sec. So yeah, you are handed this sort of thick, viscous liquid. Looking at it, it looks a little bit like blood. You have a little taste. It appears to be some kind of wine, but dyed a dark red and thickened somehow. It tastes quite sweet. It's quite nice.
Oh, you're down at one.
it's not beer, but I'm open to new experiences.
Yep. So if you drink that, it's mildly alcoholic. It's not particularly strong, but it tastes lovely.
Okay.
Cough syrup.
Yeah, pretty much. Alcoholic cough syrup, basically. So yeah, the party is going with a swing. You can see also dotted amongst the crowd are this may be slightly niche. Everybody remember the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are tall, thin creatures that remind me of that. They've got sort of a crooked hat, and you can see horns coming out either side, and the long pointed face.
Sudden flashbacks to a
large...
gnome and an elf trapped in a hall of mirrors.
And they seem to be trying to grab people that have horns on. And you can watch as one of them grabs this child, human child, and just starts tickling them. Ah, got you now! Ah! And the child sort of rides about and then gets up and runs off. Yeah, get the next one. And you can see this happening all around the square. There's like these catcher people that are trying to catch the freed tieflings and take them back to hell by tickling them. As you can see, the
sounds absolutely adorable.
Yeah, it obviously started out as something horrific and a celebration of getting away from that, and it's turning into something kind of sweet and cute and fun.
At least while the children are awake, anyway.
Well, quite. So, is there anything anybody else would like to do? Melissa?
Yes. I am quite familiar with, people who are not tieflings disguising themselves as tieflings.
Uh-huh.
Is there any of that going on out here?
I mean, there's two dwarves and a tabaxi.
Yeah.
Definitely aren't tieflings, but they're trying to disguise themselves.
Is there anyone here that's using magic for a disguise? It's just a little bit too real.
Make a perception check with your advantage because of Fey, Fiend, or Undead. Pay particular associations with the Fiends today.
Oh, I rolled double digits.
Yay!
One of them at least. 18.
18. You start to look around for fiends, and you're getting a kind of low level from the tieflings themselves. But you're not getting anything. What's the 60 feet, isn't it?
I don't really have a range. It's just kind of me looking around.
Right,
I don't have
it's not the spell,
divine sense.
So you're kind of casting about looking, and you don't see anything that you think is too much. The guy on the stage, for example, is totally owned up. He's some kind of half giant kind of person. He's not a tiefling at all. It's all fake and makeup. Muscles are real, but the rest of it is all fake. Some of the catchers are tieflings. In fact, most of them are. There is one that you're not quite sure about. He seems, or she seems, or it seems a bit too enthusiastic about catching people. Still letting them go, but it's just a little bit. It's keeping them a little bit too long. So the children, especially, are getting a little bit it's just a little bit the wrong side, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
you don't think it's particularly fiendish. It's just a genuinely unpleasant person. But the rest of them seem to be, there's tieflings and dwarves, and those two dwarves, and halflings. There's even a few elves scattered about, enjoying the festivities. And as you are partaking, there is beer available as well. If you want beer, there are all types of ales, other wines. By far the most popular drink is this blood red wine, the blood of the innocents, as it were. Thank you. It's canon now. And yeah, anything else anybody would like to do?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to get myself whatever this festival's equivalent is of a candy apple and go watch the pantomime with some of the kids.
Okay. So, yeah, you can get a devil on a sick. It's a sort of candied fruit of some kind, possibly a pear, which has been shaped into a vaguely demonic face or devilish face. Candy is very sweet, very sticky. It will cost you 2 copper. And yeah,
I will have very messy fur by the end of this.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, it gets everywhere. You wander up to the front of the stage to watch this pantomime being played out. And essentially, it's this large gentleman roaring at them. And then you notice at the sides of the stage there are some musicians just sort of warming up, tuning up. Appears to be something about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still keeping an eye out. I'm not
Make
letting
another
I
perception
am.
check.
Are any of the tabaxi back from the docks, or are they all still down there?
Make a perception check.
I want to keep back as far away as I can from everything going on, but still be in range and be able to see what's going on.
Well, in this big square, there's nowhere really to get away. I mean, it's about 80-foot square, this place, and it's just filled with people, and all round the edges of these stalls selling various drinks and foods and cakes and whatever. The stage is right in the middle of this. Miette has gone up to the front of the stage to watch whatever's going to happen. I'm assuming the rest of you are just sort of milling about.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you can sort of stand off to one side near one of the stalls if you like.
Is there a tree in the square or
There are
anything
no
like that?
trees here, no. It is literally just a big square with, you suspect if this isn't happening, it's a market of some kind.
The guy with the axe, how big is
How big is the axe? It's about twice the size of yours. It's big.
Are you having axe envy?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you can make a perception check to see if it's real or not.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see much anymore. I rolled 1 less than I did last time. So.
Okay, so yeah, you look around, the place is just full of colourful characters, some with their shirts off, some with them with makeup on with blood everywhere, and some with like big prosthetic gashes in their necks when they've had their head cut off, and it's all, it's Day of the Dead versus Halloween mashup.
May I also do a perception check, because I'm quite nervous being that I'm not used to being around
Yeah, there's a lot
this
of
many
tieflings here.
tieflings.
A lot. Yep,
Yeah.
of course. Make a perception check.
Well, I rolled a 7 for 14.
14. You don't see any, which is odd. You'd think that they'd be up for joining in with a party, especially a 24-hour party. Maybe they'll come along later. Maybe they've got business to do, boats to sort out. Who knows?
I rolled a 19 for 30.
30. Okay, what are you looking for?
Just feeling very twitchy, looking for anything that seems out of place, or I'm just sort of very carefully watching because I'm very nervous about being around so many tieflings.
You look around. There are a lot of tieflings here. They all appear to be having a great time. It's a really good vibe. Everybody is happy. They're singing. You can see there's musicians sort of warming up at the side of the stage. Some sort of play or musical number is about to happen. You clock this one guy as well that's being a little weird. But he doesn't seem to be anything evil as such. He's just a little bit too enthusiastic about catching people and keeping them too long. He's just overexcited, probably.
I'm going to keep an eye on him, but just sort of keep an eye on the crowd as well. And
the crowd sort of mills and shifts as they come up and buy more drinks. The day is getting more and more raucous. The children are getting more and more wild as the afternoon goes on. People are possibly not eating enough and drinking too much. It's getting a big festival vibe.
But yeah, I'm not touching any of the food or drink here.
Okay, fair enough. Noted.
I've got 13 to see with the axe.
You look at it. That's not real. It's fake. It doesn't
I'll
look
point
particularly.
out to Florian.
I mean, the guy's big and he's muscled, but it's just a prop.
Go to Florian. That's not a real axe.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but thanks for confirming for us, Choladar. Yours is way better.
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So, up on stage, the musicians start to play. It's a very strange, discordant sound. As you see a couple of violins being played, and they seem to be sort of not exactly fighting each other, but not really playing the same tune. So it sounds really odd. It's sort of it's weird. But as you sort of move around with the crowd, some of you can hear that in places it sounds great where the two sounds of the instruments combine. Miette, you're at the front of the stage in the centre, and the two violins are either side, and you can hear distinct tunes coming from each one. But in the middle, it sounds like a mad cacophony of almost people speaking. You know how violins can do that almost like a human voice? They're kind of like that. And they're two different voices almost arguing over something. Obviously it's music, so you can't tell what they're actually arguing, but you get the idea or the impression there is an argument going on. The music suggests that. And then you see onto the stage comes shining woman in armour and a tiefling beside her. And then there's a fight! It's on! The big demon, the shining woman, the tiefling with another violin are cavorting around the stage, and it's a big battle, and the children are cheering and then booing as the demon seems to get the upper hand, and then it goes back and forth, and finally they slay the demon, and the crowd erupts and it all goes crazy. And the actors bow, and the musicians come out from the side of the stage and bow, and everybody's cheering.
I'll be well into this, cheering and shouting and clapping and jumping up and down.
Oh yeah, taking the cues from kids.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Yep.
The kids are going absolutely nuts. I mean, they've probably seen this like hundreds of times, but they absolutely love it. And even the adults are all like, yeah! There's like massive amounts of noise and laughter and fun, especially when the demon trips over halfway through and he's like, ah! Everybody laughs, and then the paladin chases him around, and then it's like, oh, it's all going crazy. But yeah, the stage show ends. It's been a good couple of hours. You've fed, you've had a drink or two. Some of you, noted, Celeste. And yeah, the afternoon wears on. You start to see the kids tend to be few and far between now, as obviously it's getting into sort of late afternoon, early evening. The smaller children,
The sugar
especially,
actually started.
yeah, are being taken home or whatever. But yeah, you get it's more teenagers type style, the ones that you're noticing now, rather than the small ones running about. So the vibe kind of shifts. It was sort of family friendly and fun and silly, and now it's getting a little darker now that the little children have gone. And there are more people in makeup and more horrific wounds have appeared.
So
Can I
to continue
find
on
out-
with the theme at night,
Yeah.
after Martin, I would also now like to pull a fitty, and being very familiar with plays and such, What's the likelihood of the slide into darkness continuing until they really take up that let's sacrifice the strangers vibe?
Make an insight check. You can have advantage because of your background. Sorry, Florian, you wanted to do something.
Yeah, can I just find Yorick
Of course.
if he's not too
It's
far?
not
from us?
difficult. He and Gus are pretty near me yet, shouting and cheering at the stage. They've, having a few drinks. And... What'd you get me at?
13.
13. I mean, it's not unsettling. It's just, it's a play. It wasn't a particularly sophisticated play, but you could see it was entertaining. The tieflings obviously have seen this a lot before. They all understood it. It was exactly what they expected it to be. But you get the feeling that there may be a slightly more sophisticated version of this play done a bit later on with less laughter and silliness and more actual content. But you don't think anybody's going to, actually sacrifice anyone, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
After spotting Yorick, I think Florian just wants to walk over to him, and just sort of like, put his mouth to his ear and go, Yorick, it's been fairly busy, and just put my mind at ease. You've still got the scarf and the book on you, right?
Do I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to have all your possessions.
Yep, I've got everything. I've been very careful.
It's cool. I'm just a little bit paranoid being in here.
Well, don't be.
Easier said than done, Yorick. Easier said than done.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
just don't do that. Just like don't.
Oh,
Perfect.
what can I roll to have comedic timing at this moment? To emerge from the crowd with like blood wine dripping from mouth and paws and kind of going, Florian.
Yes, of course, certainly. Florian, you see this vision of like blood red fur as Miek claws out at you. It's not
I can
particularly
tell.
frightening, but cause she's still got half of her devil on a stick.
In that case, since he didn't react, I shall take his cheeks between both sticky paws and nuzzle his face. And then I'll go wander off somewhere to try and wash up.
Florian, you are now covered in some sort of sticky, orangey red ick.
And cat fur.
And cat fur. It's an interesting new beard look.
I'll find. Florian doesn't have a beard.
No, I know, but it's an interesting new.
It's a new beard look. Yeah. I'll find somewhere which is like there's like a water well or something, and just.
I mean, there are a couple of sort of places, sort of temporary toilets set up type of thing, you can wash and whatever. Yeah, it's
Send
not
you
a problem.
message, Chaz.
Okay. Cool.
Talking about beards, how is my beard going?
Your beard is, well, you can certainly grab hold of this beard. It's now, I don't know, about half an inch long. You can certainly pull your fingers through it and sort of stretch it out a bit. It does look quite odd with your elven ancestry and your dwarfish beard. It's quite thick as well. It runs down from your sort of just below your ears, along your jawbone to your chin.
You're a dwelf.
A dwelf, yes. An eorf. So, anybody else wanting to do anything while this partying is going on? It's starting to get a little dark. The vibe is getting more raucous, more on the drinking and scaring people vibe rather than having, entertaining the kiddies.
Just having a whale of a time and thoroughly enjoying it.
Okay.
How big is Dornham? So when we first walked into where we then walked to the library and then to basically the centre where we are now, how would I get a distance of how far the edge of the town is?
It's a small city. It's not a town, so to speak. It's probably it's on a par with Dar, rhyming as well. Look, it's in its size. I mean, you could walk across it, and it'll take you a couple of hours. So it's not that big, but it's it's big. You'd say there are probably between 800 and 1,500 people living here, probably. Your sort of brief foray into the city itself.
Okay.
Melissa, as you are standing enjoying the festivities or not, depending,
I'm spectating.
okay, there is a loud crack right behind you. How do you react?
I kind of stagger forward and almost fall over,
Okay.
trying to turn around and
Okay.
get away from
So you
this
turn
noise.
around and you can see Snow just grinning ear to ear.
Thank you for the training, Snow. I appreciate it. No, kind of stand back up and try and settle myself down again because I've been sat on like tense nerves for like since getting here. So
Okay, cool. So what's everybody else read? Let's just quick. Sorry, go.
Go
Florian.
on.
No,
If
no,
anybody
Florian.
wants to ask, I'd like to go up to where Melissa and Snow are
Uh-huh.
and be like, Snow, do you fancy taking little John just to the outside of town just to cure my curiosity?
Which side of the town? Are we going to the water? Are we going to the gates?
Any really, but I just want to double check something. I'm a bit paranoid.
May I join you? I'm not the most comfortable here at the moment.
Splitting the
Oh,
party.
yeah, I was thinking me and Snow could just get in and out quicker, basically, or out and in quicker. But
Come on.
by all means, join us.
We'll go to the docks.
Okay, so you three are going off to the docks. Fine. Okay. Melissa, what are you up to?
just kind of watching, kind of on edge a little bit from Snow's prank and
Okay.
from just general nerves.
Yeah.
Keeping track of the dwarves and Miet.
Okay, Mia, you can't see. She's disappeared. She went off to clean her fur up. It was the last time you saw her. The dwarves. What are you the dwarves up to?
Partying.
Party.
Yeah.
Following the crowd
Getting involved,
goes
Drinking. Dancing.
drinking some blood.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, the dwarves are having a whale of a time. Trelagor.
Trinidor's exuding the energy of like awkward parent at a children's party, sort of standing, holding his axe, not quite sure how to behave. After like saying to Florian, "Oh, we need to get involved with this." Now he's here, he doesn't know.
Okay.
So he'll probably sort of scout out to the side, keep an eye on the door,
Okay.
hold like a drink so it looks like he's joining in.
Okie dokie. So, right. So we'll start with Miet. After washing your fur off and sort of cleaning up a little, getting rid of the rest of that thing, it was quite horrifying after a while. It was so sweet. You make your way back towards the square where the library building was. And indeed, the nondescript building that you're seeking is definitely there. What would you like to do? You are muted, by the way.
Worst fucking phrase to come out of the pandemic. You're on mute. And I keep doing it anyway. Sorry, yes, following the protocols from Dar, approach the door and knock.
Okay. So you knock on the door. There's a slight wait, and the door opens, and you see a hooded figure, probably about 5 foot tall, quite short. Looks at you. Yeah?
I
Should
have
you be at
business
the
with
festivities looking directly at your horns?
just a brief detour before I return. Should I remove them if they offend you?
We don't get offended. Do come in. Opens
Thank you.
the door. You walk into a brightly lit hallway. There are several doors either side, and it opens up into a natural sort of oblong room where there is a square table in the middle and 4 chairs around this table. There's nobody currently there. But this figure escorts you to the chair. So, anything in particular you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I had made a business deal with one of your members, and I would wish to leave payment for her, if I may.
Of course. May I take your name?
It was an excellent time to remember the name that I gave originally, wouldn't it?
That would be.
Selena.
Selena. Okay, just one moment. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
And they leave. You hear the sound of a door shutting. About 5-6 minutes go by. Door opens. The figure comes back. Ah, yes, of course. Yes, that will be perfect. We can take the payment here. The member is not currently in this office, but sends their regards.
Thank you. I only have over the amount that is owed. Is not meaning to be crude, but can the temple make change?
Well, I believe there were several options for what you were paying for.
There were, yes. The fee I'll be leaving was only for the information, not for any action.
I see. Right. Okay. Well, if you have that fee, that can be taken, and information will be forthcoming.
Trying to remember where I had this written down. I can never remember where the money is. Yeah.
Throw me the money.
Ah, yes. So yes, I hand over the large diamond that I took from the orc bodies.
Okay.
No, that wasn't the orcs, the giants. It's the giants, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
the giants.
Looks at it. That'll do nicely.
Excellent. Thank you for your help.
She takes a box out of her robe, puts it in the box, puts it back in. I will make sure the information is with you within the next few days.
Thank you kindly.
You will be contacted.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy the festivities. And she walks you back to the door and opens it for you. I hope to see you soon.
Likewise. Take care.
And you. It's dangerous out there. Shuts the door.
Not at all ominous.
Not at all. So, as Miette is doing this, and then presumably making your way back to the celebration?
The stage.
Okay, fair enough. We shall leave Miette finding her way back to the stage. We will talk to Florian, Snow, and Celeste as you three disappear. You're going towards the docks, are you? Okay. So, as you wind your way through the streets gets quieter and quieter as you get towards the docks. And as you get there, you can see there are very few boats moored. Maybe 4, 5, and there is space here for at least 25. So it looks really empty.
Is there I assume when I first came down here earlier today that it would have been quite full.
It was quite busy. When you came earlier, you would estimate there was at least 15 or so 10 of them have left.
Okay. Yeah.
So, which is fairly normal. I mean, it's not
Yeah, yeah.
as if people have left deliberately because of the day. It's because their business was concluded they needed to be elsewhere, and the tide waits for nobody. As you know, as being a follower of Peladas. So,
Pardon my ignorance, but where I'm from, tieflings are regarded very differently. So I'm trying not to think that same way, but I'm a little bit unsettled, I must admit.
Your tieflings are good people, for the most part.
Yeah, they are. It's must be hard for you, Celeste, but I think we're safe. But I just want to cure some curiosities what I've got. Do you mind just walking a little bit away from the dark snow, just so we can see a bit of inland?
I mean, and if you wish.
Did you want to do this quietly?
It doesn't matter too much if we're still in town as such. I just want to...
I mean, I've got an idea and I can cause a distraction, shall we say.
If needed, that would be handy, okay?
Good. So now I'll start walking towards the pier.
okay.
And sort of the two of them will mutter something. And then with the songs that he knows from the Treading Waters, and with obviously finding out who Peladas is, the oldest songs now have a lot more resonance.
Right.
He uses thaumaturgy to increase the volume of his voice and just begins to sing as he walks towards the end of this pier.
Okay.
And he's reaching out for Peladas.
Okay.
As
Give
he
me
walks.
a performance check, please.
As he's doing that, then I'll kind of usher and guide Celeste more to the way of the town we came in. So would that have been from the northern side or from where the docks is?
You came in. Hang on, let me just grab the map again. So you came in from the northeast. The docks are down at the southwest. So you're currently in the southwest corner of the city, where the docks are. They sort of go. They don't go out to sea, but they go sort of. The river runs round the city, and it can go out to sea as well from here.
Yeah. We'll walk up sort of like the northwestern side of the city then. So we're southwest. So we'll go northern.
Yeah, so you want to go north round towards back, following the course of the river back round. Okay.
Yeah, basically. Probably wouldn't go too far away from snow, but just so I can get a look at the actual inland from at some point.
Well, you can see it across the river to the other bank.
What is it you're trying to see, Florian?
One, if the fog is anywhere here, because it was mulling its way below when we were in the cave, just before we came into Darnham. Two, if it is, I think I might know why, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to be looking out along the way, and when we come to, like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes away from snow.
Right.
And be looking, rather than across, but directly, just looking to see if there is the fog. The fog.
Okay.
Would you like to take to the skies?
I mean, if we can.
I mean, I can... Hang on.
I love that. I mean,
double checking what I can do. Double checking what I can do.
Okay, well, while they're doing that, Snow, what did you get for your performance?
Yeah, okay, I can.
Performance is 24.
24. Okay, so you walking down along the dock side, singing loudly. You're trying to reach for Peladas through this song, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. It's fairly quiet down here. You haven't seen anyone around. And then a couple of figures sort of stand up on boats. So, What are you doing? Shut up! It's not the
It's
time for that. If you want to sing, go back to the tieflings. They will. So we are trying to sleep. Bugger off.
Yeah, he's not paying attention to any of. He's literally walking towards the end of the pier,
Right.
as far out as he can get.
Okay. I mean, it goes fairly far out into the waters.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're singing, and the crews on the boats are getting more and more annoyed at you, and they're starting to sort of chuck stones at you from the river's edge. It's just chucking at you. None of them are hitting you, but you know, you get the point. They're trying to make you shut up, go away, because they're busy or they're sleeping.
Yeah.
But nothing stirs in the waters yet.
Okay.
So back to the can't I?
So I was just double checking my world shape. I
Sure.
will turn myself into a giant owl,
Okay.
but like a darker coloured one, not like one that's going to stand out in the middle of the night sky.
Yeah. Well, it's not night; it's evening.
Okay, well, yeah.
So I mean, I would say it's probably about 9 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, you can
Well,
do
just
that. Yep.
double check that nobody else is sort of around.
Make a quick perception check then.
15.
15. It feels like a fairly safe spot. There's a city wall behind you as you've walked out along the bank of the river.
Okay.
From the dock.
I will take a few steps back from Florian and then turn myself into a giant owl and then just sort of hop about until I'm in position that he can climb on my back.
Okay, Florian.
Yeah, I'll do that, but when I get on her back and until we get up somewhat in the air, I'll be like laying flat on the back, so it obviously doesn't look like there's actually somebody on this giant
Right.
owl type thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. So you take off, rise up into the sky.
I will click my beak at him quizzically.
And I'll just be like, just kind of, if you can, just go from left to right and kind of like a circular motion, just so we can have a look.
And I will do that because
And as she's and Celeste starts to do that.
Over the city or outside of the city?
Like outside of the city, so like don't go over and be like outside of the city and just do sort of like a small sort of like 360.
Gotcha.
So then I can see the other side of the city and everywhere I can, and I'll be looking out for the fog or anything untoward, basically.
Okay, make a perception check.
And can I also check?
Of course.
With my my owly eyes.
Check. Because it's dark, you'll have to have disadvantage, won't you, Florian?
Oh, I will, won't I?
I have dark vision in owl form.
Okay.
That's why I picked the owl.
Okay, not too bad.
What'd you get?
14.
14. Okay. So you look out. It's unnerving. You've not been up this high. It's quite weird to look down, and the owl is flying most silently. And you see down. You can see the lights of the city, especially in the northwestern quarter where all the noise and stuff is happening. You see the lights and sounds, and then there's a stillness of the river. You can see glittering in the moonlight, and then back towards where you came, you can hear a lone voice singing. Sounds like snow, and shouting. So God knows what he's done. But no, you don't see any fog. You don't see anything untoward. Everything looks fine. Celeste, what did you get?
I got 27.
27. Again, yeah, you can see the lights of the city. Turning away from that, you can follow the course of the river as it winds its way round the edge of the city, and then goes back up. Again, you don't see any fog or anything untoward. You do see in the distance, far, far in the distance, shapes wheeling around that remind you of the dragons that you saw not long back. But they are tiny, infinitesimal specks. You only see them because you've got that really high roll. But as far as here, nothing seems untoward or strange.
Again, I'll click my beak at Florian and just sort of shake my head as if to indicate I can't see anything.
Yeah, but I can't see anything either, but I suppose if you can, no one can. Let's head back down and get to snow again.
Okay. So, speaking of snow, you reach the end of the dock.
It just keeps walking off the end.
So, it's a fair drop. It's about a 20-foot drop at the moment.
And as he's dropping into the water, he's going to call to Peladas again. Please, my lord, give me the power to show them your incarnation. And he's going to visualize the original sort of watery form that we saw in the temple.
Right.
And he's going to sort of, as he touches the water, he's going to try and use what he's been given, force it up into an incarnation of Peladas.
Okay, make a religion check for me.
Nice. Natural 20 for 22.
22. Okay. So you sculpt the water into that image that you saw in that temple. And it sort of stands there as it was, holding this watery trident. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use the thaumaturgy to cause the sound of the voice to boom out of this. I am Peladas, Lord.
Well, that's kind of pushing it for a cantrip, really. Yeah. I mean,
well, I'm going to use it to
you can use to open a window or make a noise.
But it says I can make my voice boom to 3 times as loud.
You can make your voice boom. Yeah, you can't make it appear. I mean, if you want to cast an illusion spell to make the what you've created speak, then you can do that if you have that spell.
I don't know.
But a cantrip, a thaumaturgy cantrip is kind of pushing it to start, impersonating a god.
I'm going to have the thing in the air, and I'm just going to scream as loud as I can. I am Peladas, Lord of the Waters.
Okay, you do so. This booming voice comes out of you, as amplified by the thaumaturgy spell, and says that.
And is there any reaction on the boat?
Most of them have gone back in to try and get some sleep. The one or two that are out sort of just staring, going. They're sort of looking at you like fucking idiots, What is he doing? It's crazy people these days. So I don't think it's having the desired effect. It seems to be. They don't seem to be that worried or concerned about this watery figure and this lunatic that's singing at the top of his voice. Too much to drink, Too much of that, what do they call it? The bloody innocence. He will learn. He is young. So, while that is all occurring, back at the celebrations with Yorick, Gus, Melissa, Trelador, what is it you're doing? It's got really raucous now. The two fiddlers earlier that were playing background music and this argument are now joined together with a couple of drummers and a piper, and they are going for it. They're really whipping up the crowd. You see lots of people are dancing. The music is fast-paced, frenetic. It's
definitely do some dancing.
Yeah, it's reels, jigs,
jig.
mad sort of grab a partner, swing them about type of dancing. It is really raucous and fun. There's a lot of people, so yeah, if you want to join in the dancing, feel free. If there's anything else any of you want to achieve or do, let me know. Yorick, any particular you wanted to do?
No, just enjoying the party.
Okay.
That's exactly what we do. We just drink, dance, and sing, and
absolutely.
Have a maybe even start a fight later on.
Absolutely. Yeah,
just
we could do that. No problem.
I'm going to have another kind of look across the crowd, see if there's anything
fiendish.
Anything fiendish.
Okay.
That isn't
What are you doing when the kids are gone to bed?
Yeah. So yeah, make a perception roll. Perception check with your advantage.
At
Also,
some point,
when I
I
get
am going to
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm going to try and grab Melissa and coax her into dancing.
Okay. Let's make this check first.
19.
19.
And I was just saying that when I get back to the party, I want to take out my flute and attempt to, jam
Join
with the
in
musicians.
band.
or
Okay,
whatnot.
that's cool. Noted.
Yes.
So, Melissa, you look around. You're not sure if it's just the shadows and the play of the lights now, because this has turned from it's still a really good vibe, a really fun and happy place to be, but there's definite edge to it now, and you find yourself sort of jumping at shadows a little bit. There are tieflings that obviously have slightly more devilish ancestry than others, and you're feeling that more and more. More of the tieflings seem to be more fiendish as the night wears on somehow. You're not quite sure what's going on there, but that's certainly what seems to be happening. And the guy that was playing the big devil earlier is back on stage, but he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. He's got rid of his axe, and you can see that the torches on the stage are flickering, and they're sort of playing across his arms as he's standing there, across his arms, muscles sort of glistening in the firelight, and it looks as though somebody's oiled him slightly, and his skin is more of a bright red, and his eyes seem to glow, and his horns as if somehow seem to look even bigger in the semi-darkness that he's standing in, just standing behind all the musicians, just staring out at the crowd. It's quite getting a little bit unsettling when you try and detect fiends. And as you're doing that, you find you are grabbed from below as a hand grasps your wrist and whisks you onto the dance area as you spin around in some sort of strange Gay Gordons or something similar dance, and just like throwing each other about. And Yorick throws you to Gus, and Gus picks you up, spins you about, throws you back, and the dwarves seem to be initiating you into some sort of demonic frenzy that they've gone into.
There's just kind of non-verbal squeaks and shrieks coming from Melissa. She's completely blindsided by this.
Yeah. So, dwarves, feel free to elaborate on what you're doing with Melissa and the dance.
I think we'll probably be throwing her between us, sort of like once Yorick picks her up and starts spinning her around, he's sort of like, and Gus would come and take her out and spin her around and throw her back. And
yeah, pretty early on, I'd have tried to sort of initiate the difficult, being as short as I am, try and initiate like the sort of lean down so I could at least sort of go, you're right having a dance, just to make sure she's okay with it.
Just caught me off guard. I'll be alright, darling.
Hey!
So,
back to Gus.
as the crowd spins and everything's gone a bit wonky, but yeah, it's enjoyable, certainly enjoyable. Trelador?
Well, I was going to go and try and find the man with the axe, but obviously I can see him on stage, but I'm be resisting every opportunity of someone trying to.
There are a few people sort of pulling at you to get you into the dance.
Can I help you?
Come on, dance.
I don't dance.
It's Hell's Day. Come on.
No.
Why? Somebody else sort of runs up to you, sort of taller man in one of these, like with this wonky hat, one of those catcher people from earlier, comes and starts tickling you.
Don't. Are you quite attached to those arms?
Pulls out a flask, sort of. Drink.
Well, okay then.
You drink it. It is the strongest thing you've ever drunk in your life. It is violently alcoholic.
This is much better than this crap.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't drink that crap. This is my own. My uncle makes it up in the hills.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, huh?
What's the deal with him? I point to the red guy on.
The devil. Ah. Well,
He's not really the devil.
well,
He's an actor.
an actor. But he.
I had to explain this to Florian earlier.
Who's Florian?
Did he's an assassin?
Ah, okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, he's giving that flask. So puts the lid back on. Puts it. He basically later on will come and try. Once we catchers have got somebody, we will take them up onto the stage, and he will try to sacrifice them to Fiona, the Prince of Hell, and then the Paladin and the Bard from earlier will rush on and rescue them, and everything will be fabulous. But up until that, don't tell anyone. If you've not seen it before, it's really good fun. It's just a giggle.
How do they select first?
Well, it's part of my job. I go up and I tickle people, and then I get chatting to them, and I say, "Do you want to be a sacrifice?" And they go, "No, yes," or whatever. Sometimes we get like loads of people. Other times there's like one, but somebody always
people volunteer. Is
It's
it
just
a
a
place
laugh.
of honor?
Yeah, it's
Is
just
it
a laugh.
like? And I'll take the flask back off him. Quick. Is this considered an honor
Absolutely
to be chosen?
Absolutely. The people who volunteer for this are just just the stars of the show. Really, they get rescued. They are the person in distress.
Oh, okay.
Not if
So
you
you
need
need-
rescued, he takes his flask back.
Clearly not. I'm more of the rescuer than the
Yeah,
rescuer.
indeed you are, but we have rescuer actors already. So, but if you wanted
I
to
don't-
be just as a change of pace, up to you.
I'll take the flask back off him. I fail to see how your selection process works. I mean, you tickle people,
Yeah,
and
Well, we start off with the kids, we tickle them, and it's just a big laugh, and they run off, and blah, blah, blah. But we have conversations with the adults, like yourself, like we're doing now. You remember conversations? Yeah?
can I just? You're not picking me at the moment. You're not
No,
canvassing me
I'm
here.
asking you, would you like to... And he takes a flashback. Would you like to be a sacrifice?
I mean, and I'll take the flask back.
Yeah.
No. I'm probably getting a little bit pissed.
Yeah, make a constitution saving throw. This stuff is lethal. It's homebrew, whatever the hell it was.
Natural 1.
Excellent.
Four.
You are very, very, very drunk. You think this is a fucking brilliant idea. What a change of pace. Why can't I be rescued for once?
Yeah, I'm always rescuing Florian. He's
Well,
fucking weed ether.
not quite. Why don't we let you have a bit of a rest, a bit change of pace? You be rescued. Hey, if I find this Florian, I'll get him to rescue you. Yeah.
No, that would be embarrassing.
Okay.
That
no,
would be really
yeah,
embarrassing.
you're completely right. I tell you what. Come
You'll
with
find
me.
it.
He
You'll
takes
find him on the
flashback.
floor talking to Fog. That.
He sounds bonkers. He
Oh,
sort
shine.
of drinks a little bit from flask, gives you a little bit more. Another.
Yes.
Takes a flask back, puts the lid on. Right, come on then. And
I'll just go up in my arm around him and go, you know his axe isn't real.
So I've heard.
And I let him lead me off.
Yeah, and he leads you out.
Brilliant.
Round the outside of the crowd to backstage area, and we'll pick that up in a bit. So, what we will do
I
before we
have to
talk...
say just before we go,
Yeah,
but in terms of, the dwarves always being the one to get us in trouble, Chalador's being an excellent honorary dwarf.
I mean, it's the beard, obviously.
I
It
have
must
the
be the
beard,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, we will take a little break before
Beard
we get...
detracts from the brain power.
Yeah, before we get back into this, we will grab a drink. I certainly need a drink. I've been talking for what feels like about a week, and I'm sure you think it is too. So, yeah, we'll be right back after these small messages. Welcome back to Hell's Day, our fabulous celebration of fun, frivolity and frolics, where, as Melissa is being taught, well, shown, had forced upon her dwarven dancing, it was difficult to know which one of those adjectives was right. She is being thrown about by Yorick and Gus. The music is getting faster and faster. Trelador has disappeared around the back of the stage with one of the catchers. Miette has rejoined the fray, has got her flute out, and is about to make a performance check to see how well she blends in with the musicians on stage. Are you getting up on the stage, or are you...
If that's where they are. Well, if my performance is good enough, you know, I might get invited up there.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not.
What?
That was an 11.
11.
I need to warm up.
Yeah, it's you're just not playing loud. The flute is just not the instrument here. It's not loud enough by half. They've got fiddles up there. They've got drums up there. They've got horns. It's, you know, you're just lost in a sea of noise. Snow, you are at the end of the dock. Your image of Peladas crashes back down to the waves, not having had the effect that you wanted it to. You see Celeste, are you flying down towards the dock where Snow is, or are you sort of flying down to where you were sort of secluded to then change back and then walk back in?
I wasn't going to change back. I was going to stay as an owl.
So where are you going?
Depends what Florian said after we did the sweep of the sky.
Okay.
I said let's head back
He did
towards
say
where
let's
Snow is.
Head back to
Okay.
where Snow is.
So
you're
I
flying
would
back
be
to Snow. Okay. Good.
flying back to where
Good.
Snow was and keeping a lookout.
Okay. So, as you fly back towards the docks, you can see Snow on the end of the longest dock out into the waters, heading out of the bay. The bay ahead of him, and the waters head out to sea, and obviously the river where you're flying along. You do also see people on board boats, obviously the watch that have been set, see you and start to get bows at the ready. Well, flying monstrosities!
If you can change and land safely, I'll do that now. Just do it.
So just giving you fair warning, they're about to fire upon you.
I will
Because you're
drop Florian
approaching
off.
the docks.
You don't need to drop me
There's
off.
a
Just do
flight.
it. If you're going to do it, do it. Hey, how high are we?
I would say you're probably, because you were coming down into land, you're about 60 feet above the
Okay, cool.
surface of the dock / water. It's about 80 feet, about 20 feet further to the waters. But what do
I'd
you wanna
swoop
do?
down, drop Florian off, and then swoop off again.
Before she drops me off, just so it's quicker,
Yeah.
I'll jump off and use slow fall.
Let's get that's 12. I'm assuming doesn't hit. And a 17. There's 2
12
arrows.
just hits.
12 and a 17, so they both hit. Okay. That's 11 points of piercing damage and 8 points of piercing damage. There's 2 arrows firing.
Just enough to pop me back out again.
Okay, so you're swooping back up, so you're going to be about 80 to 100 feet up in the air, and you're now falling.
I will turn back into an owl again and fly off
Okay.
quickly.
Okay, you bounce back into an owl and take a just before you hit the water, you back off again. Okay.
And I'll kind of slow fall to.
Yeah. So you sort of can you direct slow fall, or is it literally just like a
Let's
feather?
have a look, shall we?
So I think feather fall. If that's the same spell, I'm not sure it is.
It's basically to reduce any falling damage.
Yeah,
So
you
I
just fall. You can't direct it. You just fall straight down. Roll me a d6.
one.
1. Okay. So you float down and land on the dock, about 10 feet away from Snow, who's right at the end of the dock.
Yeah. You coming? I think we're done.
Snow's not. Well, he's heard the twang of the bows and he's seen Thingy fly off again.
Yeah.
He's not really paying attention to Florian. He's looking around for the idiots that are shooting.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 of them sort of standing, one on a couple of the boats. There are 3 others that have sort of gone back to get bows, but have come out by the time they've gone back. She's gone. And the 2 of them say, "Well, I'm pretty sure we got them. Would have gone." But yeah, there's much consternation there about monsters out of the sky.
There.
They wouldn't know a monster if it bit them on the ass.
Let's get back to the others. At least we can kind of, well, not race because I think you can beat me, but have a good run back.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, so the pair of you walking or running, whatever, making your way back to the central or the western square where all the action is happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. While we do that, Celeste, where are you going?
I'm going to go high into the sky and then look around for somewhere that I'm not going to get shot at, that I can hide but keep an eye on the festivities.
Fair enough. I mean,
you're not going to get shot at.
I mean, probably the dock area is the most likely place to get shot at because, Tabaxi,
I want to see if I can find a building near the centre of the...
something.
Yeah, building near the centre of the square and just sort of snuggle up to a chimney or something so I'm not quite so conspicuous.
Cat on screen. We have to mention it.
As we're walking back along the pier, he said one of them's gone to get a bow and come back up onto the top.
Yeah, then all 3 of them have gone down and come back up and were too late.
Yeah. So as I reach the, if there's one that would have been closer than the others, as I reach sort of the edge of 30 feet, I'll just turn and mutter, and I'll cause a massive bang behind his head.
Okay.
I want to scare the shit out of him.
Yep. He's like, "What the fuck?" and actually falls off the boat into the water. The rest of them are like, because they all heard the noise, but they're like, I mean, it wasn't that scary. But he's sort of like, but it looks like he's lost his bow as well.
Good.
And into the waters. So, Celeste, make a perception check for me.
30.
30. Good grief. Yeah, you can. There are several. There's not really any really tall buildings here. They're all kind of 2-3 story buildings. I mean, the highest one is probably the library, but that's pretty far away from where you want to be. You can get on top of a 2-story building without attracting too much attention. If you roll me a stealth check, please. And you can have advantage because most people are not bothering to look up. They're reveling.
$13.
13. Yeah, I mean, most people are not really that bothered about what's going on up in the skies. They're busy having a good time. So you land on a ledge of a roof of a building, a little clumsily. You're not really used to being shot at in the sky. And yeah, you sit. You can observe the festivities. The band are playing. You can see Miette trying desperately to get her flute involved, but it doesn't seem to be working that much. Melissa is being thrown by dwarves. Trelador you can't see at all.
Yeah, this is ideal for me. I can keep an eye on everyone, but nobody knows where I am, and yeah.
It's also ideal for me. Nobody knows where you are. So, let's see. So, back to the dwarves and Melissa. Are you still chucking Melissa about?
Oh yeah, stopping occasionally for a drink and then carrying on again. Just thoroughly enjoying the
Okay, so another hour or so passes. It's just getting a bit wild and crazy down here. You see Miette has rejoined you. I don't know if you want to start chucking her about as well.
Oh yeah, definitely grab hold of her and bring her in for the swim.
Okay, yeah. So,
I would help the dwarves in this endeavour.
okay, so the three of them come at you, Miette, and just you are now involved in the dance. I mean, you can resist if you want to.
As long as I'm not grabbed by the tail, I won't resist.
No, you're not. They grab you by the paws, the three of them, and there's the four of you now. In fact, we'll have a group performance check.
Oh, right.
God.
Come on, all four of you, performance check, please.
With the skills I'm actually good at.
Excellent.
I'm not good at it, but I am today. 21.
Awesome. Melissa?
24.
24. Miette?
Technically 10, but the dice was a natural 1.
Ooh, okay. Yorick?
11.
11. So Yorick, you're a bit sort of unsteady on your feet. It's getting a bit crazy. This press of people, other people are trying to join in. They're putting you off your step. It's getting all a bit disorientated.
Does he step on Miette's tail?
Pretty much. He doesn't actually step on Miette's tail, but Miette actually steps onto Yorick as Yorick is sort of about to try and throw her, and she just sort of like, it all goes horribly wrong for Miette because I think she's probably expecting somebody slightly taller to be throwing her about, forgets that Yorick is a dwarf, goes to grab him to sort of launch herself off and assist, and it all goes really badly wrong. Yorick, you go to sort of wheel Miette round, and she unbalances and goes over the top of your head and sort of lands prone on the floor behind you. You didn't mean to do that. You were just sort of spinning her towards Gus. It was all a bit weird and strange. Gus and Melissa, however, are on fire. The pair of them are just moving around each other like they've been dancing together for years.
Archers represent.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you see a couple do an Argentine tango and it is absolutely perfect. It's like that, except it's a whirl of red flared skirts, hair everywhere, and beard everywhere, and it is just a joy to watch. I mean, it shouldn't work. They're completely mismatched, but they're making it work. It's going beautifully. So, Celeste, you can see these four in their varying states of dance doing this idiocy. Snow and Florian, you get back to the main theatre of events fairly swiftly. I mean, neither of you are slouches. Do you want to join in the dancing? Do you want to do something else? What would you like to do?
No, I'll probably just stand aside and again watch the group and just keep an eye out on the sort of the market square and everything.
Okay, make a perception check.
Hmm. 5 this time.
5. Awesome. I mean, you can see the 4 of them. They're obvious. Everybody can see them. You don't see Celeste. You don't see Trelador. You saw Snow a minute ago. Don't know where he's gone. But yeah, it's everything seems to be. Everybody seems to be having a brilliant time.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for Florian and Snow, and sort of if I see them looking up as if they're looking for me, just sort of try and subtly yoo-hoo at them.
Yeah, I mean, Florian was looking about, but he wasn't looking up at any point. Snow, are you looking for anybody doing anything?
As we walk back, is there anywhere that I can scamper up the side of?
I mean, yeah, there are plenty of sort of one-story buildings along the way, people's houses and things. There's a couple of two-story buildings closer to the square, but like I say, it's an 80 by 80 square, so the buildings are sort of on the edges of it.
Yeah, I'll be looking about for.
But yeah, I'll say you could find one fairly easily. You want to climb up one?
Yeah, have a quick gander.
Roll me a d6.
4.
4. So you scamper up a building. There's a shape in next to what looks like a chimney breast. A vague, feathery shape. Looks like you've turned up on the same building that a large owl is currently enjoying.
I'm going to creep up behind her.
Yeah. What's your passive perception as an owl?
It's the same as my passive perception as a elf.
Make a stealth check, please, Snow.
And I've got keen hearing in elf form.
And yeah, you're not in elf form, are you?
No, in owl form,
Right,
I've got
okay.
keen hearing.
Okay, what does that do for you?
It gives me advantage on wisdom perception checks for using my eyes and ears.
This is a passive perception. Now, what's your passive?
21.
21, because you're concentrating on the scene down there.
Okay, fair.
So your stealth check was?
24.
24. Okay, so yeah, you managed to sneak up on her without her realising you're there. What do you want to do?
And just claws out a little bit and just starts scritching the back of her neck.
There's a pointy back, something pointy on the back of your neck. How do you react? Remember, you are unnerved, you've been shot at, there are a lot of tieflings about.
I'll do that thing where the head goes all the way backwards.
Okay, so her head spins round and looks at you, Snow. So you see Snow with claws on the back of your neck.
And the head will go upside down.
Hello there.
Okay, so we have Snow and the owl, a snowy owl, perhaps. Ha ha ha. Yes, I know it was terrible, but I'm allowed. I'm the DM. The current set of music comes to a pause. People are cheering and clapping. There's a lot of people sort of shaking Gus and Melissa by the hands, telling them how much their dance was fabulous or they really enjoyed it. And the musicians sort of fade away to the sides of the stage, and the devil steps forward, looks, moves his great head with his horns either side. Where are my catchers? And you see the catchers walk on with 3 victims, one of which is Trelador, a very drunk Trelador. You have been back there. He's been sharing his flask. You are absolutely totaled by this time. You are each put manacled to this rock that's in the middle of the stage. You and 2 others.
They didn't manacle in the previous thing, did they?
The previous thing?
The previous showing. Like
No, the previous show was just the big devil being chased around by the paladin and the bard, and being
PG-13.
PG-13 version. This is the X-rated 18+ version. So the 3 victims are manacled to this rock.
Oh, help me! I'm Florian.
Says Trelador. Make a performance check, see how loudly your voice carries. You can do it with disadvantage because you're very drunk.
Oh, well, that was a natural 20 and then disadvantage. 9 minus 1.
9 8. So Lion is what you hear.
Can I have a look at the big devil who's got the axe? Yeah.
He doesn't currently have the axe. No.
Is it anywhere on stage?
Make a perception check. At the moment, he's got his large, muscled arms outstretched with these big talons for fingernails.
19 for that one.
19. And as he's sort of being intimidated towards the crowd and then roaring at the catchers who scatter back off the stage, and then he turns his attention to the 3 people that are chained up on the rock.
What do the other 2 look like?
One of them is a tiefling. She is sort of a dark purple skin with smaller swept back horns. She's got a big gash that goes from her forehead all the way down her face, all the way down over her chest. And she's dressed in rags. It's obviously some sort of cosplay, not sure what. The guy on the other side of you is also tiefling. He's got a big grin on his face. He looks almost as drunk as you are. He's a sort of paler orange skin with larger horns that are more forward and then sweep back, with sort of gashes across his face and shoulders. And sort of a sort of leather apron type of affair going on. Not sure what's going on there.
Just whisper, but it's a shout. Can't.
Yeah.
I'll just go. Not really the devil. And should I have one of these?
He looks at you and goes, I know that. It's just make believe, isn't it?
You've got on your face.
It's makeup.
Chest.
It's makeup. It's makeup.
Mine's real on my chest.
That's brilliant. I love you.
Love you too. Oh, don't tell Trelador. No, I'm Trelador.
No, not Trelador.
Everyone gets my name wrong. They keep calling me
Trelador. Florian, make a perception. Actually, you don't need to make a perception check. You can hear this. There's no music going on. The crowd are fairly quiet at the moment. You can hear this conversation that Trelador, very, very drunk, is having with this guy.
No sign of the axe?
The axe, I was going to get to that, sorry. The axe appears to be leaning up against the side of the stage, almost in the wings, as it were. You can just see the haft and the double-headed blades.
And no other axe anywhere to be seen?
No, not as far as you can tell.
What? Why is the music stopped? Play something.
Let's play the music again.
Music.
And as you say that, this big devil, leans across to you, as you're in the middle. He goes, I'm going to eat you.
I'm going to take your kneecap.
And he puts his hand out to the side, and the axe flies across the stage into his grasp.
I dart instantly across to him.
Literally,
to the devil.
You another sacrifice.
I punch him in the side.
Trellador, what are you doing?
Okay, make an attack roll.
Yeah, he has to ruin the whole performance, doesn't he?
Oh, fucking hell, that's a lot better. I've been going on all of my ability rolls instead of my attack rolls, haven't I, tonight? So, 22.
22. Yeah, that definitely hits. Roll your damage.
Yeah, so I do that, and then I'll use a key point to use the stun thing. What is it? Stunning strike.
Stunning strike.
But I'll do the damage first.
Okay. The stun thing. Boyfriend's getting into trouble. Oh no.
So the damage is 9.
Yep.
And he has to make a con save.
Which he fails, I'm assuming. What's the DC?
Let me just go back to that.
I told you earlier, he's not really the devil.
DC's 14.
14. Yeah, he fails.
Okay, so he's stunned.
Stunned.
And as he's stunned, and he is stunned to the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Whenever turns come.
Right.
But I want to try and get the axe out of the hand if I can.
Sure. So you want to grab the axe out of his hand?
Basically,
Yeah. Okay.
Trellador told me earlier on that the axe wasn't real.
Okay.
And somehow it's just been put into his hand
Okay.
from the other side of the stage.
All right. So you grab the axe out of his hand, and you grab it. It snaps in half. It's only made of sort of cheap balsa wood. As he's got his grip on it, and it snaps. It's nowhere near as heavy as you thought it was going to be. It's completely fake.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the rubber that was round the axe handle.
Yeah.
And it's tied round his hand. And that's how.
Start shouting, boo!
Yeah, the crowd is going, oh, boo! This is not how it goes. Ooh.
It's all right, Trellador. Not everyone's meant to be a hero.
What is he
Go and
doing?
talk to some fog. Go and talk to some fog.
What's he doing? He's not.
I
What's
know.
he doing?
I've never met him.
Yeah,
He's an
and
acquaintance.
I'm gonna step over and try and.
The catchers run on, grab you, make a acrobatics or athletics.
Okay.
And there's 4 of them, so good luck.
Yeah. Okay, so only one roll, yeah?
Yeah, just one roll.
Yeah, okay, so it's 19.
Yeah, so they grab you, one of them rolled really high, and pull you off the stage. What the fuck are you doing, man? This ain't real, it's a fucking play. What did you do to Bert?
Well, he'll be fine in a second or two.
You fucker! They sort of wrangle you off the stage.
I'm gonna kind of head around the crowds and try and get round to where they're taking Florian.
Sure. Okay. So you rush round to the side. Anybody else going with him, or are you staying to watch the show?
I'm still throwing things at the stage.
Okay, cool.
Boo!
I'm watching the show.
I'm going to turn to the purple teeth and go, I forgot my line. Oh, we don't have any lines.
No, he's all right. You don't need to say anything. We just hear, and then we almost get sacrificed. Then we get, we get rescued. It's good.
I know you need rescuing.
Yeah, well, it's a pretend. It's a play.
Yes, I know. He's not really the devil. I did tell you that.
I know. Everybody knows, apart from that
And
idiot that came on.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, they should lock him up.
Yeah, they should.
So, off at the side of the stage, Florian is being held, not unkindly, but firmly. Melissa, you get there, see this. There are 4 of these chaps. A couple of them still got hats on. Some of them, their hats have been knocked off during this altercation. There are 4 tieflings holding on to Florian, basically saying in sort of whispers, going, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. What are you doing that for? Everybody knows how this goes."
Sorry, new to the city, bit of a protective.
Oh, Jesus,
Kind of.
man. You need
I
to...
approach.
Yep.
Approach saying, "I'm so sorry, Florian. You all right?"
Is he with you?
Yeah, he's
Just take
a
him
friend.
away, please.
Yeah.
Keep him under control. You see what he did to Bert? It's
It's
ruined
fine.
his play.
If you look at
Broken
him
the
now,
leg, broken the
he'll be
axe.
fine.
Man,
Apologise deeply.
if we get bad reviews for this, I'm coming for you.
Can I
Here, and I'll kind of say, hopefully this can repay for the damage, and I'll pass him 5 gold pieces.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. We can do this. No problem. Yeah, bye.
We'll go stand and watch the play now. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, brilliant.
And I'll just kind of lead Florian away.
So
Say,
back on the stage, the devil's like,
I'm gonna
Bert,
do the
is what
devil.
I mean.
Come here.
He sort of comes.
Oi.
In. Oh, fuck! Where's my line?
Come here.
My
Come
line.
here.
Yeah.
Down here.
Oh,
Bert,
what? What's up?
listen. Come here.
What?
Your axe is shit.
What?
Your axe.
Oh,
Shit.
where's my axe? He looks down and
Shit.
sees it on the floor. It's broken. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'll borrow
just start
yours.
laughing.
Takes your axe.
No, it's mine. You have to be
You
a
are
champion
you are
of New
currently
York.
manacled and drunk. He
Yeah.
takes your axe.
You're not the
Right.
champion of New York.
It looks fairly small in his hand.
You're holding it wrong.
Line. I'm gonna eat you. And he sort of brings the axe down onto the
Start
floorboards.
cheering.
Yeah, the crowd goes, "Yeah!" It's obviously a new thing that the devil takes the axe off the sacrifice. It's really good fun. Yay, they're into it. So as that happens, he thunks the axe into the floor. He sort of looks at it and goes, "Oh," as if realising that he's actually real. He's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Ah!" at you. And from the other side of the stage, run on those 2 figures from before. The woman in her shining armour and the tiefling with the violin. And the tiefling plays and the paladin runs in and they chase this devil, and the devil starts to punch them and scrape at them, and then the paladin holds a hand out and it's all very dramatic, and the devil's it's very Amdram, okay? But they're doing their best.
Is the violin player purple by any chance?
Yes.
And what race is the paladin?
The race you would expect it to be. I can't remember off the top of my head. Human?
Tiefling.
Was it human or tiefling?
If it's who I think it is, tiefling.
Tiefling, yeah. So the tiefling paladin and the tiefling bard are attacking this giant demon and holding it at
makes
bay
sense, the
with their
tieflings would be
music
ones
and
that
their holiness. And the devil falls to his knees, and they smite him mightily, and he goes down.
I'm just looking around for the little people eating pork pies.
None of those, I'm afraid. It's a very biased show.
Yes.
I'll just scream out, this is what Florian says all the time. Do we level up now?
If you don't have a point of inspiration,
I do have inspiration.
you definitely need one for that. So eventually, the devil is bested. He lies broken on the floor. The paladin and the bard free the sacrifices, and the actors all bow.
I'll make sure I'm at the front.
Yeah.
I'll get my axe, and every time they try and bow, I'll go to the front of the queue, so at the front of the line, right at the front.
Yeah. So everybody's bowing, and
Cheering.
the crowd is going absolutely nuts.
And I will stand there for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing it.
And eventually they start shepherding everyone off the stage. They have to come back.
No, I'm not done
come
yet.
back for Trelador and just
No.
move them off the. Bert just sort of goes, "Come on, mate, we did it. We have to go now. There's more drinks out the back."
Okay, yeah. Did you like the axe better than your one?
Yeah, very good, very sharp.
Yeah,
Take
you
it
couldn't
across.
hold it. Too weak. You're too weak.
He's not nice though, and walks you off the stage. One of the catchers comes off, removes his hat, and addresses the crowd. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our performance this evening. We hope you enjoyed. We will, of course, be back again next year. Reviews permitting. Hey! And the crowd's like, yeah! There's drinks being thrown. There's all sorts of excitement happening. So, as the stage crew are shutting down the stage, pulling all the props out, muttering about how they're going to mend the acts and stuff like that, yet you recognise, the end of play takedown is occurring. You can see that whilst they're not as professional as your troops that you've been with, they're pretty good. They're okay for tieflings, and a half giant. They're okay. They're not anywhere near as good as you guys, but they're all right.
Credit for credit's due.
And the crowd is still milling about. There, what you see is on the outskirts there are 4 different taverns have opened. Seating has been put outside while everybody was watching the play. Seating areas have been put outside. The taverns are open well into the night. It's now about 11 o'clock at night. What would you like to do?
This is all as good as a dwarven party.
I'm going to step aside, Florian, just for a moment, and say, I understand, but you know better than I do to watch first, then go for it.
Has
And
everyone
especially-
forgotten what we just did and what's happened beforehand?
It has been present in my mind the entire evening. And I was just as concerned as you since I saw Trellador up on that stage. But at the same time, use your eyes first, darling.
We need to get out of here straight away in the morning. Trellador was saying all of our names up on stage.
We will, don't worry. We'll figure out where we're going to go and get going, but just relax a little bit. It'll help you to spot out when there is a real threat. Okay?
Better be safe than sorry, I suppose.
Go on, Yorick. It would be rude to not try all these pubs. Let's find Trellador. He looks as though he's up for a bit of fun tonight.
Now let's go catch up with those 2 rabble rousers, and we'll enjoy our evening.
Okay.
Love you, down.
Sorry, excuse me. Losing my voice. There's been a lot of talking. So, the dwarves are heading off to one of the bars. Are you taking Miette with you? Because she was with you at the time?
Oh, yeah. And we'll try and find Trellador and bring him along as well.
Okay, Trellador currently is backstage talking to Bert, I believe.
Oh, in that case, we'll just leave.
Okay.
Can't see him, we'll leave him.
Okay, so Yorick, Gus, Miette head off to one of the bars, closely followed by Melissa and Florian. Snow, Celeste?
Yeah.
So after I've got her attention, I'll literally just walk off the edge of the building and use my ring of featherfall to sort of just slowly descend to the ground, and then start walking towards the centre.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way through the crowds. Are you going anywhere in particular, or are you catching up to the dwarves?
Yeah, I'll probably just sort of walk through, spot where my folks are going, and follow.
Okay. Well, it looks like most of them are heading towards a particular tavern. You can't see Trellador anywhere. But
I'll follow suit now that all the stuff in the middle has gone. I'll sort of hop into a nearby alleyway and change back to myself, and then follow after.
Fair enough. Trellador. Bert is very complimentary. Has some more of this. They've got like a little sort of glass container. It's not made of metal. It's made of glass, and it's got this same devil's whatever it's called, devil shine in it, and they give you a quick snifter of that.
So, like, when we do the next one, like later on, I think I should be the big dude, and you be the rock person.
No. See, no. We finished for that's it. We did the afternoon one for the kiddies, and then we did this one.
Did we?
Well,
I remember doing that one.
There's no sacrifices in the afternoon one. It's too scary for the kiddies.
That wasn't scary.
I know.
I think it's scary.
For the little kiddies, it is. You know, it's all peril and stuff. We know it ain't.
I know someone. She's very scary. She's called Miette, and if you get on the wrong side, she'll tell you off.
Will she? Okay, I'll try not to get on her wrong side. Who's Miette?
She's like a tabaxi.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I don't really know much about her. I don't know much about a lot of people, actually.
They're the ones that do the plays, isn't it? And the singing. I've always wanted to join one of their caravans. They're amazing. Do you reckon, like, you could get me, like, an in?
She had caravans, and, like, they all exploded or something. I can't remember.
What? That's mad, man.
I know.
They, like, exploded.
I know. I know. I don't really listen to them.
But you can get me an in, right? So I can, like, audition for the Tabaxi caravan, right?
Yeah, I travelled with some Tabaxi. They're all right when you get used to them. They're a bit weird.
You can see some of the catcher actors are like, but no, mate, no, that's not how this works. No, see, we just do this one. They do like every day. You won't be able to do it, mate. Plus, I think you have to actually be a tabaxi. The person like, no. I will audition and I'll be really good, and they'll like let me be in the place.
I've got an idea.
The best.
There's someone I travel with, and they can make you into a different person. She's got like spells and stuff.
Whoa, that sounds brilliant. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, I quit. I'm going with my man Trellador because he's going to get me into a proper acting troupe. You are all amateurs. They were like, but. And he's like, right, come on, Trellador. And he sort of stands up.
It's pronounced Florian, actually.
Florian. Come on, Florian. He picks you up, puts you over his shoulder.
Whoa.
And starts to walk off through the crowd. He's still in full makeup, by the way.
Yeah.
He still looks like a huge demon.
And I'll play along as we go out into the crowd. I'll go, help, I'm being kidnapped.
People
I'm going to be
absolutely
sacrificed.
loving this. They're like, oh no, the devil's back. Ah! And start running about. Some of them sort of like go up to him and just whack him on the arse as he goes past. Let him go, you beast. And as he walks across, he's no idea where he's going. So, where we go, Trellador?
I don't know. Drink. More of this.
Okay. Right. Pub. Hey.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find my threat.
Roll me a
travelling people.
Roll me a D4, please.
D4.
Gus, can you roll me a D4, please?
D4.
Yep.
Okay.
4.
4.
You get into the same pub. So the rest of you have gathered in this tavern. It's very busy. The servers are running about like crazy, taking orders, putting drinks down. What are you asking for?
Beer.
Okay, they bring you tankards of beer, big tankards. It's fairly cheap. It's a silver a pop.
This time of the night, not really bothered what it is because we've been drinking all day.
So they bring you one for Gus, one for Trellador. Sorry, one for Gus, one for Yorick, one for Florian, one for Miette, one for Melissa. So everybody and Celeste and Snow, everybody gets a beer and then they're off again. They're just too busy to dick around. They're just like wham, 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 wham.
I'll just sort of either push mine towards whichever dwarf is closest.
Fair enough.
Whichever
dwarf can decide whichever ones they want. So as you're sitting, talking, presumably about what's been going on this evening, the door crashes open. It was already open, but it just crashes back again.
And I'll go, ta-da!
Yeah, you see Trellador going, ta-da!
Shit,
Upside
I
down,
was
being
about to
carried
say,
by.
surely he's got to make a dexterity save so he doesn't get hit by the door frame.
I mean, Bert is quite big. Yeah, go for it. Dexterity saving throw, please.
Me.
Yep.
I get against effects I can see while not.
No, you're not going to see this coming.
It's still quite good though. 21.
21.
Ah,
That's fine.
damn it.
So Bert remembers to duck and remembers he's got Trellador on his shoulder as he ducks coming through the door frame and sort of puts Trellador on his feet again. And Trellador goes, ta-da! And Bert goes, ta-da!
And I'll jump up and go, yeah!
Oh,
These are my traveling companions.
oh, that's good.
Devil.
Devil, yeah.
I know who you can be. This is Melissa, and I'll shout Melissa's name really loud. Look, it's a real devil.
Hello.
What colour are his eyes?
His eyes are red.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to change my eyes red as well because I've got the horns on.
That's good. It's a very
Look.
small tiefling. It's quite round for a
Oh,
tiefling.
yeah. And I'll give him a beer.
Oh. Dunk.
And I'll go, right, let me introduce you to everyone.
Aye.
This is Snow.
Snow.
This is Yorick.
Yorick.
This is
I go up
the
behind.
other dwarf.
I
the
go
other
up behind
dwarf.
Trellador
Other
and I
dwarf.
punch Trellador.
And this is the scary tabaxi that I was talking about.
Oh, you must
This
be
is-
Madame Miette.
This is
Bows.
Manus and Celeste.
Celeste.
Well, this is a lie, right? You know, I said I didn't know who he was, didn't I? This is Florian.
Florian. But you're Florian.
Yes.
You're both
Same.
Florian. Roll to attack.
It's 19.
19. Does that hit you?
Yes.
Yeah, Stalin strike on him.
Okay. Make a Constitution save. Is it? Or Dex?
Constitution save.
Constitution save.
What a party pooper.
I know. Go on, smacking people.
Natural one.
That's the one. Yeah. So, yeah. Trellador's like, "Ugh." You just stop. All your nerves just go, brrrr,
Shit myself.
and your muscles just like tense up. Bert goes,
Pays
You're
What'd you
both
do that
called
for?
Florian.
You got mad or something? First you attacked the players and now you're attacking your boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. You hit me.
Can we get him out of here, please?
You hit me.
Oliver.
That's nice.
We're having fun. Just sit down and have a bloody drink.
Oh.
Are you being serious from what we're trying to do right now?
What?
Yeah, we're trying to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, let's have a beer. I'll have another beer.
Blimey. Tell him, Yorick.
If I may, Florian, we're trying to stay below the radar. a little.
And
What's radar?
What?
shouting out our names? Everything? How is that below the radar?
What's a radar?
It's radar.
People are probably not going to remember drunken ramblings, but they might remember people being punched in the face.
Yeah.
That's assuming everybody's drunk.
You hit me.
Everybody's drunk except you.
Does a 14 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
You go, misses you. Yeah, don't do it again. That's you told, isn't it?
I leave the pub.
Okay.
Don't be like that. Oh, I bet. I've never met him before, but I better go meet him.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go because I don't think
Stay.
all right, I might.
You stay there. I'll go and sort him out.
Okay.
Not like that. Just gonna go and talk to him.
Okay. So
I'll
Trellador
stumble out
leaves the pub,
Florian.
and Bert stands there awkwardly for a minute.
Beer,
I'll offer him my mug of beer that I've just been kind of holding and not drinking.
Cheers. Drinks in one.
And then Snow will walk up and put his hand on his shoulder and sort of just
How
turn him
how
and
tall are
direct
you?
him. Oh
I think
yeah.
this guy's like 8 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well, I'll
big.
reach up and pat him on the
Yeah.
shoulder then, because
Yeah.
Snow's
Oh.
like 6'3".
Snow. I remembered your name. Snow. It's funny.
Okay, but did you want to go back to your friends?
Yeah,
And
I
Snow,
think Trellador's a bit. Oh, sorry, Floriador. I don't know what. He's a very confusing person. He's got a beard and pointy ears. Very confusing person.
Snow will put 3 gold in his hand.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
very sorry for your inconvenience, Bert.
Oh yeah, he did punch me though. That was very uncalled for. I was just being an actor, you know. And
I know,
anyway,
I
have a really good Heller's Day. And he sort of turns
And
and
you.
wanders off, presumably back to his troop. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, Florian, you see Trellador come out of the pub after you, and a few minutes later, Bert disappear into the night.
Yeah, I would probably have left the pub quite hastily, and then just kind of skulked into the shadows, basically, as much as I can.
Stealth check.
And I'll just come out of the pub and just start going. Florian!
What'd you get?
I got 18.
18. Perception check with disadvantage, please. Trellador.
8.
Florian's been kidnapped. It's obviously the only thing that could have happened. He's gone.
Oh, Bert got him. Florian!
You see Trellador come
I'll just
out.
do that sort of drunk thing of just shouting.
Florian! And a few minutes later, you see Bert come out, sort of like with his hand, his fist closed, trundling back off towards the square, towards where the actors are.
Bye.
He doesn't hear you.
Florian.
I'll stop him from doing that, and I'll go, "What is a Trellador?"
You'd come. Hello.
What are you doing? We're trying to be as inconspicuous as we can. You're getting drunk and shouting everybody's name out. And
I'm not drunk. I'm ill.
You're ill, are you?
They gave me like something to drink, and I think it was poison. I can do something now. Look, and I'll go by Reorcs, and I'll try and do like a divine sense or something.
Divine sense, okay. Okay, your divine sense goes out, and it's Fey, fiend, or undead, isn't it? Normally,
yeah.
Divine sense. So, and you sense something down below your feet, some sort of strange feeling of fiendishness below the streets somewhere.
Nah, fine.
What did he just do, Trellador?
I cured myself. I could do this lay on hand.
Oh, can yes. And I put my hand on his, like, as if I do that type thing. Okay. And I use my hand of healing, which I can then do something else with it to cure an effect. And I think one of them is poisoned.
Okay. Well, he's not exactly poisoned.
Physician's touch. Well, it's the closest thing.
You're sobering him up, basically. I'll allow it. That's fine. So, yeah. You do that, and Trellador, your mind clears of the alcohol, and you're in full view of everyone, holding hands with Florian outside a very busy pub.
I'll immediately.
Immediately what?
Immediately, I didn't
let go of your hand.
What are you doing? What did you just do?
I let go.
Before that, when you were drunk.
I suppose I can remember.
Yeah, you can remember.
I think I was acting a bit silly. shouting my name, and I did my new power, which is very good.
And what was that power?
It was like I can sense things. I've done it before.
Okay. And have we felt anything like that before? When you done it before?
Remember, I'll do it again.
Okay. And again, you get that sense of fiendishness coming from
Magic awareness.
below the street. Are you doing magic awareness this time?
Yeah, sorry. I don't even know what divine sense is.
It's a paladin thing.
I think it's a Warcraft thing.
No, it is a paladin.
It's a paladin thing.
Paladin thing.
Yeah, divine sense
Yeah, it's magic. It's
can sense fey, fiend, or
magic.
object.
Yeah, I don't have that then.
You
You
should
don't have
have divine
Yeah, you do have
sense with one level of paladin.
Oh,
Let me just quickly bounce onto your character.
oh yeah, I do. Yeah, but it's only one charge, and I've
Oh.
already used it.
You've already used it, so you can't do it again.
Yeah, I can't do it again. But I just there was something underneath the ground. But this is a tiefling.
Yeah, I get that, but you've been drunk for a couple of hours now and seemed to be okay until you got up on stage and started shouting all of our names. Not fake ones, all of our names.
Yes, but I was ill. Like I said, we've all done things when we're drunk. I don't really drink that often.
You do realise, and then I don't even like to tamper it. Push his chest. You do
Ooh.
realise
That smarts a lot. I mean, I would even go so far as to say
what is going on.
you take 3
And you
points.
do realise what I've taken.
I
and
do.
What I freed you from.
Well, I don't know if you have or haven't.
Do you want it back?
If you want to give it back, because I seem to be the only one thinking sensibly at the moment.
We all have our moments, Florian. You were talking to Fog
moments.
a little while ago.
And I quieten my voice and I just lean into him and go, "We're being chased by
Yes.
the Prince of Hell.
Yes.
We were meant to be dead. You've just shouted out all of our names inside of a busy town and a busy pub. And you've felt something weird beneath us?
Look, as I said, I wasn't myself. I won't go as far to say I'm sorry for it. But I regret some of the actions I've taken the last hour or so.
3 points of damage, please, Dan. As he pushes you. I mean, it's been aggravated by being manacled to a rock and being carried by a half giant across the square. So, yeah, you're not feeling particularly brilliant at the moment. It's hurt. It hurts a lot. There's a lot of dampness and stickiness. You can feel the bandages being sucked into the wounds where it's just all oozing through.
Okay, I've made some mistakes. I've made some dubious choices in the last hour. Where do we go from?
We let the others know straight away and see what they want to do.
Okay? Maybe you should do the talking.
I don't know, if you're sober now, maybe you won't blab so much.
We all make mistakes.
Thought you didn't like
Mine.
talking anyway.
Maybe my mistake was walk back.
I missed you. Cut out again, Dan.
Yeah.
I said maybe my mistake was you, and then walk back in.
And that's where we'll
Flowing.
leave it for tonight.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's a cliffhanger.
Dum, dum.
Dum, 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 dum. So that was brilliant. Well done, everyone. That was really good fun. I really enjoyed introducing you to Hell's Day. Thank you for making it fun and in joining in with the spirit of Hell's Day and obviously the spirit of what's to come. Yeah, so well done, everyone. Any questions? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I've got one.
Go on, Em.
What's the best way to blend in? To do exactly the same as everybody else? What's the best way to stand out? Be totally sober, go around punching people for no reason and being really boring.
Oh, but no. According to Florian, he's the only one acting sensibly at the moment.
Yeah. We're all acting the same as everybody else, then no one's going to remember us. if you stand out and act differently, people.
Have
Yeah,
a think. Have a
Florian,
think
yeah.
about what's just gone on though. Previous
I remember
episodes
the
leading
guy
up to it.
on the stage and punched the actor, and then came in a pub and punched someone else, and then ran away.
Even if I'd have rolled to see anything for that axe, I would not have seen it. I can't see in the dark, and it was a black rubber band, basically.
It was a stage show.
I feel like I should point out that, the other paranoid of devils member of the party was kind of relaxed and wasn't particularly worried about the stage show.
100% Florian would not be that. He definitely just wouldn't.
I mean, I'm here for it. I get you, Florian. I really do. I think it was totally in character for Florian. It was idiotic, obviously, but it was totally in character.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. Every second of it was brilliant. Especially when you went up and punched Bert. It was fantastic. I mean, it's one of those DM little... Go on.
Little golden nuggets.
In fact, I've already forgotten about it.
Go on, punch the actor. Go on. And you did. It was great.
The only thing that would have been worse is if he accidentally killed him.
Yeah. You're back for 20, broken back with one punch. Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been good.
I mean, no, Bert was fairly solidly built. So,
Was it Tony the Ass Kickers on stage, or any derivation of them?
no.
Ah, damn it.
No. It was reference to
No, there were no
Leora
half-orcs.
and... It's all reference to Leora and Romance.
Yeah. Because they were tieflings that saved the day. Well, one of them was. Then Leora.
Yeah.
Leora
I mean,
killed them.
neither of them were really.
Well, there you
But
go.
No, it was the rest of us.
I know, but, tails get twisted, don't they?
Mhm.
And, a majority tiefling population and would remember the tieflings that were
Of
involved.
course. I mean, none of them were named. There were no names given. It was just the paladin.
Just
You
a
are
purple bardic tiefling and a white paladin tiefling.
The bard and the paladin that saved the day.
And I'm officially now a short, hairy tiefling.
You are a bearded tiefling. I like it. I'm here for it. It's so good.
You are fueling the fire of my Helloran is aggression in the future theory.
mean,
So
It's your theory.
I thought that was pretty obvious at this point.
yeah, it's weird.
Could be. So, any other questions or statements? You want to go do a quick round of room, or? Oh no, Biet has a question.
Sorry.
Will we do that?
It's not so much a question. It a bit slow this evening. Sorry, but it occurred to me during Trellador's drunken ramblings to Bert describing the party that it's Trellador's summary next week.
It is.
And how wonderful is that going to be from that twisted perspective?
That's going to be.
Is
I don't
it-
know how, yeah.
Is it going to be done from Trellador when he's drunk, or is it going to be done from Trellador denying everything that he did when he was drunk?
Well,
That's the thing. It's when he's sobered up. He remembers
Like, we're talking about
everything now.
that
so-
tieflings rewrite their own history. I can rewrite my own.
well, it's your recap, Trelador. So you do whatever you want to focus on. Remember. So,
My question
all I
is
can
for
do-
Dan.
Okay.
How could you say such a thing to poor Florian?
Big
Yeah,
and
that's
all.
not saying 3 times denied, Florian. You deserve better.
Yeah,
I mean, technically,
so-
he was trying to rescue you. So, your fantasies are coming true.
no, he's telling me what to do, and he's about it.
So there was
I
one
didn't tell
thing
you what to do, and I didn't punch you in the face, by the way. I said that I did go behind you and do what I did to Bert
Yeah,
up
but
on
then,
stage.
no, it wasn't so much that. It was the scar and you being, I know better.
He's
Yeah.
like a nagging old fishwife, isn't he?
Basically, yeah. Trelador's pride's hurting, trying to save face.
So there was like the best idea that Florian was under a car in a secret passage for like 4 days of travel to keep him hidden from everyone, and you've got someone who's going around shouting out names. in the middle of a tiefling town or
Well,
city.
the truth is, we just wanted to see how long you'd stay in that hobbyhole.
I
We were
mean,
having
4 days.
to see how long it would stay up. You'd stay in there.
okay, so a quick, very quick. If anybody else has any questions, I'm not going to go round the room because we've all kind of asked questions and said what we've said. The only people that haven't really spoken up much, Yorick. No, you're good.
Yeah.
Snow. Cool. Everybody else has had a little say, so if there's nothing else, we will leave it
I did
there.
have one detail that I wanted to point out.
Okay.
Was that Drunkador kept calling us his acquaintances,
Travelling companions.
Who's
Yeah.
even when drunk, he couldn't bring himself to call us his friends.
And he referred to Celeste as his sister. His name.
Yes, got that as well.
He referred to me as the other dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of fair, to be honest.
Because I was told to get to know the other one because I sort of only knew Yorick and the other one.
Oh, bless you.
After the door.
Anyway, thank you very much for playing. You're all absolutely marvellous. Thank you very much. It was really good fun. I certainly enjoyed it. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, great. If you didn't, I don't care. Please come along. Don't forget, we will be back here on Sunday for the next instalment of The Investigators. So join us then. That'll be Sunday 7:30, and then of course we will be back here to pick up that conversation with Trelador and Florian, ending on such a cliffhanger. I mean, that's some way to go out. So we hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you all very soon. And bye for now.